If anyone has a question so far before we go in more detail, that'd be perfect. And if now while you think of questions, I can just launch a couple of polls to see where we all are regarding this issue. So just 2 or 3 questions for your feedback to see where you are regarding this. So if you like to vote on that, it's have you ever seen a corn maize field with zeros and deficiency in your region? So if you'd like to answer that, just to get a little bit of feedback on where we are, and we see that I'm sharing the results. So all have seen serious and nitrogen deficiencies, and then also about other crops. If you have seen a field of another crop with serious deficiencies in your region, so if you like to mention that to measure the extent of the problem. So if you've seen other crops, so that's I'm sharing the results, and it's also 100%. And I don't know, Peter, if these are the typical results you get from audiences when you present this issue.
I haven't actually asked these as poll questions before, but it's pretty much what I expected. You know, it's just normal that something happens. Sometimes someone just doesn't get an application made because of weather, and that's why you get the deficiency. But certainly there's, you know, widespread geography where weather has caused losses, you know, at one time or another.
I see.
And so, you know, I expect there will be some deficiencies, and we need to deal with them. And the question is how, and that's really where the remote sensing comes in.
Yes. And then this is the last one. It's just to have a quantitative measure. If you have any feedback on what is the greatest percentage of cornfields, if it's in what ranges, 10 to 20, 20 to 40, or more than 40. If you like to vote on that, that's also interesting to know. Where, which ranges do you see there? Okay, so I'll just share those results, and we have some variation there with more than 40%, 20 to 40, and 10 to 20 in the 40, 20, and 40% ranges. So thank you. Yeah, sorry.
So it's pretty evenly spread above 10%. I don't think we will call those different, but really everyone who answered has seen a year where they've more than 10% of the fields in the area have had serious deficiency. And once you get above 10%, it's time to do something. Once you're above 40%, it's an emergency. But everyone who answered has been somewhere in that action ballpark where action should be taken, and that's what we're talking about today is how do you help yourself take the right action when you're in that situation. And so given that everyone's been in that situation one way or another, that's great. I saw that Dean asked about rescue nitrogen on wheat and the timing. I haven't actually done rescue nitrogen applications on wheat. I've done a couple of planned late N experiments, and I would actually say wheat is less forgiving than corn. You know, I know that in places like, you know, Dave Franzen talked last week from North Dakota, they sometimes get a protein premium, and late applications can sometimes give benefits there. But, you know, my thought is you really don't want to be going after the second joint if you can possibly help it in wheat. You'd really want to have your nitrogen on by then because you're starting to lose potential. I think you can do a pretty good job of diagnosis before that time, and so I don't see any obstacle with that, except that, you know, the number of weeks available is actually probably less with wheat than it is with corn to diagnose and respond. So I hope that answers your question, Dean.